Bonjour à tous et bienvenue. Hello everybody, this is Mac Plays on Mac and welcome back to Mac Island. In the previous episode, we added a regional airport to our city. We also added some density to our Broadway corridor, and we also added a custom train station from that airport to link it to our city. Now in today's episode, we are gonna work with some current assets and try to modify them to fit the need of our city. Something big, we are gonna add our first beach to the city. That's gonna be amazing. I started to add more and more assets to the build. For example, now you're gonna have these trams that are actually different sizes for different capacities. It's gonna be much better for our different usages. And finally, we're gonna work on our urban renewal project on Broadway corridor. We're gonna add density, we're gonna recreate some historical building, and also we're gonna add some commercial skyscrapers. But anyway, let's jump to it. So, for the beginning of this episode 14, we're gonna try to increase some density on that Broadway corridor. So I'm trying to still have parking lot available, but as you can see, I've tried a bunch of them and all of them are just so big. Like even that underground parking lot that just takes most of my block over there. So my idea is I want to custom it to keep that amazing capacity it has, but to take half of the footprint. So it's very easy to customize it to the size I want. I can just use the surfaces to just make everything fit. I cannot get rid of the lines over there, so that's something I haven't figured out yet. Now I'm trying to use the invisible network to connect the invisible network from the parking lot asset to the actual network, and this doesn't work. They just don't match together. Like I tried a bunch of different things and you can see like it's just not going together. So to confirm if it's working or not, I decided to build a parking lot next to it, and I'm gonna see if mine fails because the other one is definitely failing. So yeah, that was a fail. Mine did actually not got any cars, but off screen I actually found a way to make it work. You're gonna see. So I decided to go on an actual even smaller footprint, so I'm diminishing all of this. And I actually find out that if I get rid of all of the different network and I build my own custom one, it's just gonna work as normal. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna go with the regular one how they used to look, but I'm building them. Even if it doesn't say it's not connected to a road, it's still gonna work. I actually went too far into the minimizing of the footprint of that building because now it's way too far for the road, and as you can see it cannot connect to water and power and stuff like this. So I'm trying different way to make it work, and no, not gonna work. Unfortunately the asset itself work, so I'm gonna keep it like this and we're just gonna have to deal with these icons always being there. Now let's try what kind of building we're gonna put next to it. So I want something that fills the block but not too giant yet. So we're gonna have a different couple building. I'm right now like trying around to see what's there. As always, I still don't really know all of the building yet we have. I know that I want something that's big, that's gonna form our new skyline. Like we're gonna see them from far. This is like the biggest change for our skyline in this episode that you're gonna see, and I think this building is perfect start. So now we're gonna connect it to that parking lot to make it look like they are part together. I'm gonna add more grass here. As you can see, people are definitely using that parking lot, and you can even have the pedestrian, also every connection works. So now we're gonna fill that gap over there, the one that's actually on Broadway. I also want again a big tower and something that's kind of look like historical. I'm looking for some red brick. You'll see it's gonna be very cool. And I think we found our winner. So I actually put it right there, not on Broadway, because I wanted to have a Plaza on Broadway. Here I'm trying to delete the object. So I tried to delete the fence and the trashes, and they just keep reappearing. So I don't know what's the deal with that, but please, if you guys have any idea, any clue, let me know in the comment, okay? Because that's something that will very be helpful in the future. Alright, so now we're gonna have this as a brick plaza. So because I cannot get rid of them right now, I'm gonna hide them with that asset. I already used that technique a couple episodes ago, and here I'm gonna try to put some storefront to make like this is an active plaza with commerces and people are gonna be here hanging out around. So I'm trying to find what fits the best. Unfortunately, a lot of these have these big doors, you know, like garage door access, so that doesn't always fit here, but let me find the perfect thing. And I do think that this one is gonna fit. Like I'm gonna put 3 of them over there. Here we go, just like this. Let's make sure that all goes there. Now, because of better bulldozer, I'm able to remove all of the things I don't want. So that's done. And we're gonna add also some ATMs over here to make it look like this is an actual bank. This is gonna be shelves for like a bookstore and maybe some little like a just regular stores, you know. And also on the left side it's going to be a coffee, and that's why we're going to build all of these tables over there. I want to make it like an attractive plaza with some dining areas. And to complete that plaza, we of course gonna add benches and some little places to grab some fast food maybe, or journals to read, and a gazebo, and also a nice fountain. We're gonna make sure to add trees and a little sign over there, trashes everywhere of course. Now what else do we need? Yes, bench. All right there. The only problem with the benches again is the colors. It's so frustrating to have to always pick the color. I love the fact that it's random, you know, like for some different kind of object, but for the benches where you want something very similar, it's frustrating. Now for the trees, I'm gonna first use the sandbox. It kind of looks like a planter. I'm gonna have the square sandbox there and the octagonal at the angle. What's actually funny is the tree literally go into the center of the sandbox itself when you manually plop them. It's very, very funny. Alright, we're gonna continue here, and there we're gonna have another plaza a bit smaller, and this one is more gonna be like some picnic tables with some shaded area, and we're actually gonna reuse that over there to make them as storefront, so if it rains people can be protected from the rain, I guess. We're also gonna put a smaller gazebo and some benches all around. And finally, we are gonna make it an active place so people can hang out there. Hopefully we're gonna see a bunch of people using this. Now, I want to customize that asset, and I'm thinking like a swimming pool would be a very cool thing to add. Here, I don't really know if it's gonna fit, unfortunately, but over there it was just perfect. So now we're gonna add some long chairs over there, very nice, and some umbrella as well, but for whatever reason it's called parasol in here, like you cannot see anything under umbrellas. Now, just a block away by the general hospital, I feel like this building were too small for the area. I wanted more density, so I went for some bigger mixed residential building. And in the same way, because our demand is still through the roof for some commercial area, we're actually gonna build small towers over there of commercials. So let's take a quick look at what it's gonna look in the future. I mean, it's not the best. It'll do for now, but it's definitely gonna be changed. Alright, what an exciting moment. It's finally time to build a beach next to our beach property area. So this is actually gonna be a functioning beach. I picked up some assets on the Paradox mod, and it's very cool. Like, we're just gonna blend a bunch of them together. There is some come with parking, there is some that are just a pathway, and some that are like a grand beach kind of style. It's very, very cool. All right, here we're gonna make sure that it's gonna act well together. I'm gonna rezone all of the surfaces to make sure that they go to the edges where I need them to be, so we don't have all of these odd edges all over the place like this. That's perfect. And now we're gonna make sure we're gonna follow all the coast all the way to the end, so all of these premium houses have finally a beach in their backyard, just like it was planned in the beginning. And we're gonna make sure that that pathway go all the way so everybody can actually go there. We're gonna make some connection to the main road, and then we're gonna make sure that that pathway go all around all of the different assets and connect to the different kind of pathway we have on that beach on the assets. Okay, it seems like everything is done. Now we need to make sure that the surface actually aligns very well with the path, so we don't have any odd edges like this. Pretty good. Yeah, that's the first beach. Alright, let's finish that side. Here we're gonna make a pathway over there, and like this. Off camera, I actually added an actual like invisible path so pedestrian can use this. Here we're gonna increase the size of the parking lot. I just want to make sure it just look more realistic and not just end over there. We are also gonna add some bike parking because a lot of people use this bike to go to the beach. I also added to the build the decal patch by Sully. So that's what we're using right now. We can make like some wear and tears to the road, some cracks. There's, I mean, a bunch of different things that make feel more real and less cartoonish, as a lot of people would say. Now you see me struggling with this bike parking prop. So yeah, here we go. That's what I want. Now remember, these parking surfaces are just for show. Actually, no bike are gonna use them right now. Now the final touch, we're gonna make this an actual beach. We're gonna add palm trees, make it look like it's summer. I'm gonna use most of the same palm trees all around, but we're still gonna use a different kind for the path that leads from the road to the beach pathway. And now we're finally gonna add some smaller palm trees, like we're gonna have them in their baby age, so they can actually be very low to the ground. Now while I was doing this, a very weird accident happened. Car ended up in the water, burning. That's just crazy. Then my beach got destroyed when I loaded the game without the mod being enabled. Anyway, because we have so many middle school needed, I decided to get a smaller version of the asset, and actually this one fits very well. You need, when you upgrade it, to upgrade it in a special way, so actually it all fit together, but when it's done, it looks amazing. Now right next to it, I'm actually plopping some of the new assets I downloaded. It's not really assets, but it's a new functionality. It's actually raw building mixed with commercial. It's amazing, I love it. And while I was waiting for my building to pop up, I actually had my middle school already filled up, so I decided to add an extension to it, and to make it fit well with the other one, I created a pathway next to it beneath to connect the both of them, and then we're just gonna have some vegetation, just like this. I also downloaded the asset of a school in a row building, and that's gonna be very cool. I'm gonna plop a bunch of them together because I actually do need a lot of schooling, and I just think it looks very cool like this. The only thing is the back don't really go together very well, but from the front it looks amazing. Now here is one of our new mixed density kind of buildings. So this one, instead of being with a commercial space, it's with an office. Take a look at these cute little trams now. I love them, they are just so tiny and so cute. That's amazing that we can now choose different kind of capacity by having different kind of tram. Thank you very much for that asset creator, it's just incredible. We can now fulfill any needs for any line. I personally decided to change all of my secondary line to using the two vehicle objects. You're gonna see like the purple, the yellow, and the red are all gonna be two, and my blue line and my white line are gonna be, the blue is gonna remain the same while the white one is gonna have an extra vehicle. Again, I decided to add more row housing, and this here will be perfect for the row housing mixed with a commercial building. I'm kind of having two areas where big towers are getting built. You're gonna have the one next to the general hospital area and the one right by the port of entry. And right next to that tower that just plopped and that awkward shaped lot, I decided to build a new commerce center. This one is big office towers, and we're gonna build a very nice public plaza at the bottom of it. So we're gonna go with some different kind of tile, this one more modern like this, and we're just gonna have like something more regular, I guess, just trees with a very large round fountain and some sitting area. Of course, let's not forget the benches, the trashes, a couple spots for people to get some food. So while we're building all of this in the front of the building, in the back, I'm actually gonna have more like a private area for their break or whatever they need it for. It's gonna have like round table, it's gonna have a privacy edge so they're not disturbed too much by the people from the road or the noise traffic. And we're also gonna add some light. So I don't have much choices in light, but I think these light fixtures should do the job. We're also gonna add some bike racks and bikes in the front of the building, some new standing, and also a small fountain right there. We are making it a working plaza by adding some invisible path and also making the area an area for people to hang out. But anyway, it's about to be the end of the episode number 14. I think we built a lot of things today, so let's take a look at everything that happened. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup à tous. I had an amazing time creating this episode for you today. So many new things we can do. It is incredible. I see that potential is gonna just increase every single day. I have so much hope for the future. Encore merci et à la semaine prochaine. Bye bye.